again, you guys, and welcome to my very cozy, just a little bit spooky, thrifted Halloween decor tour. Basically, I'm going to take you for a little walk around my house, outside and inside, and I'm going to show you all of the kind of like the cool things that I found out thrifting over the years that qualify as Halloween and fall decor in my house. Yeah, I'm going to let you know what I've collected, all of the little treasures that I've found, and I would love to know what you have found out in your travels as well, so make sure you pop that down below. So go ahead and grab a nice warm cup of something very yummy and very cozy, and I will take you for a little tour around my house and show you all of the fun thrifted treasures that I have found Halloween-wise throughout the years. Come on. Okay, so I thought that we would start out here, and I'll just show you my two little displays by my door. To begin with, I have a few thrifted items down here. So this guy I picked up, he's like a cauldron jack-o'-lantern. I picked him up at an estate sale for $3. He's really heavy. He's like, I don't know, well, he's metal, but he's really, really cool. It's kind of hard to make out his face, but I love that he is like a cauldron theme that goes with my whole witch theme I have going on over here. This guy, he actually talks. He is just a pickup from Target, but again, I really liked how he went here. He kind of warns people off, which is kind of cool. This is a black cat that used to move. I use him just as decoration now, and I think he was a clearance item, and again, he just goes with this whole aesthetic. I actually made the broom I just picked like the gnarliest branch that I could, and it's lasted now for a good sort of 8 to 9 years, and I really, really like it. I love this kind of like older broom look to it, so I was happy with that. I didn't want to go out and buy one. This was actually from the same estate sale as the pumpkin guy down there was, just a really like old-fashioned straw witch's hat. I just absolutely loved it, and I like it propped up on the broom, like she's inside and she's chilling and she's just left her stuff outside. It just makes me happy. What can I say? This ghost guy, oh, I've set him off.
Beware, no one goes there.
Okay, thank you for that. Okay, this ghost guy poking out here, he was a yard sale find, and he was actually free. So I was at a yard sale and I was looking at these. There was like, I want to say 8 of them in total. And when they saw me looking, they said, oh, just take them for free. We don't want them anymore. And I did. And actually on the bottom, he is marked, I think he's Empire. So he's from the 90s originally. I actually sold off the other, I think 7 of them for, I want to say it was $30 a pop, so $29.95 each on Etsy, and some on eBay as well. But I kept one. I kept my favorite, just to kind of have him poking out there. But that was I mean, it was completely free, and I made so much money on that. So that was really kind of cool. But I had to keep one because I love my vintage Halloween. And then this is just like a handmade board that goes here to go with my whole witch aesthetic. Okay, and then on this side, I have my more kind of like fall scarecrow side. I don't know what I've got going on. I just put out the things I like. So I have a few of these pumpkins that I got from an estate sale as well. This one actually does light up too, and I think is vintage. It's technically from the 90s. I think it's 93 marked underneath. I have a flaming pumpkin as well over here. He's not switched on right now. In fact, I think he might need new batteries at this point, but he kind of looks like he's on fire inside, and obviously he's a bit more like rotten down. I like the fact that there's different heights going on here. And then this guy over here is one of my favorite finds. Again, an estate sale find. I don't know how old he is, but I love that he's got that kind of primitive Halloween look to him. He's like a scarecrow slash jack-o'-lantern slash I don't know what, and he's really heavy. He has like almost like a concrete base, but he was about $3 at an estate sale, and I absolutely had to grab him to put in charge of all of my pumpkins. And then this is one of my latest finds, just $2 at a yard sale, and it's by Yankee Candle, so it's good quality and stuff. This actually lights up inside as well, or you can put a real candle. It's just a really nice black and clear lantern, which I think kind of goes quite nicely with almost all of the displays. I'll show you real quick as well. This is my wreath that I made myself, but I made it like 6 years ago now, and it's still hanging in there, which is kind of amazing. I'm sure I could do better at this point, but I still really like it with my bird and my spider and whatnot, and it's still going strong after all these years, so I'm kind of proud of that one. All right, so excuse the shift in lighting, but I'm going to show you some of the pieces that are inside the house now. So we have a lot of yard sale finds right here. This back here is just an old frame that I found that I really liked. Again, it's got that very sort of primitive look to it, just the way the seams and whatnot, has some residual faux cobwebs on there. And what I did with this is I decided to hang on to this one. It doesn't have the glass anymore, but I did print out a sort of old picture of witches, if you like. I just literally put vintage witches in there. And I did the old, like tea bag trick where you take a tea bag and you sort of wet it, make it warm or whatever, and then you kind of dab it on to make it look aged and kind of peeled and stuff. So that's my little witch setup there. These little sort of glittery pumpkins were from a rummage sale, and they were, I think, $1 for both of those. And then I just have a few little fabric pumpkins that I got on clearance, like kind of scattered around the house. This is one of my favorite pieces I have ever found. She is a candle holder, you can kind of see looking down there. She's for a long tapered candle. She is handmade, and I got her for 50 cents at a thrift store. I love it because it's so like folk art. I don't think there'll be anything like her out there in the world. I love that somebody made her from scratch. She's just fantastic. So she comes out every single Halloween. And then over here, I just have my little pumpkin guy that hangs out by my light. He was a clearance item from Target as well, like a couple of days after Halloween. He was about $3 or so. Okay, up here on the fireplace, we don't have a whole lot of thrifted items, but I figured I would throw it in there anyway, just so you could see it. This is new this year. This was from Spirit Halloween. It's actually like the Sanderson sisters. We're big Hocus Pocus fans here. It's called a mantle scarf. It did originally light, well, actually it does light up, I have to say, but we haven't put the lights on for a little while because they're kind of finicky. Over on this side, we have a couple of Target dollar spot finds. So I think they were $3 a piece. Got my Hocus Pocus sign and my little cauldron candle, and then this guy here was from, I want to say Michael's this year. They had like a vintage-esque line. I will say I prefer finding my Halloween items like actual true vintage, but in lieu of that, we decided to grab this guy to stand up here on the mantle. And then this guy was a yard sale find, and I do think he is either vintage or handmade. Again, it has that primitive Halloween look that I absolutely love. So he sits right there and kind of guards that side of the TV. And over on this side, we have the cat that kind of matches the pumpkin guy over there. Same kind of aesthetic. If you can hear something making an awful sound, it's the beagle snoring. And yes, we have our cat here. And then this was a gag gift from my husband because he's so sassy. And he's Hocus Pocus as well. So he lives there too now. I do have this piece as well that always comes out every single fall. This is a handmade quilt made by me. And yes, it took me well over a year because I am not a crafty person, believe it or not. But I did want to show you because that is something that goes in with like the aesthetic of our Halloween decor as well. Okay, over here in this rather dark corner of my kitchen, I have another little kind of like witchy setup, again, full of things that have been thrifted. Some more of these little pumpkins that were from clearance that I showed you over there. This guy was actually from Home Goods, and he was a full price item just because I really liked him and I knew he would go well here. These actually were originally from a church rummage sale. They are religious books, but they sort of could go either way when it came to their titles. So I decided to use some of them since they were vintage books, and I thought that the spines were very cool. I tied them up with string, as you can kind of see, and I painted this one down here just to kind of go with the aesthetic. It needs redoing, I'll be honest. It's been years since I did it, but we have A Quest for Souls and the Golden Book of Immortality, which I thought was rather fitting for this particular little setup here. And then this, I have no idea what it is. I guess it's for the candle that I put in there. Like, this was my own combination, but it's really heavy, made out of like ceramic or whatever, and I just thought it was very kind of Gothic but simple. All right, and over here we have another sort of combination of thrifted items. I'll start over here. We have this little like haunted house that flickers and stuff when it's turned on. Just a little plug-in here. I thought it was really cool, and I love having it on in the evening when we're watching TV and stuff. This was $1 at an estate sale. I do not know where it's from, but it does look kind of like the ones you get at Bath and Body Works, so it could be one of those. This lantern was, again, one of my favorite finds this season. Again, $1 at a yard sale, and I loved the primitive look to it. Again, I'm very into that sort of vintage, primitive Halloween, like very folksy, handmade type look. And it has a couple of different sides to it. So there's one there that looks like, you know, the cat and the pumpkin. You can open it up and you can put a real candle inside, which I have been burning one of the Yankee Candle Witch's Brew in here, which is quite nice, but I think I like this design the most. Over here, I have a little sign that I got from the Target dollar spot when it was on clearance after Halloween, so it cost about 30 cents. It says, "There is magic in the night when pumpkins glow by midnight." So anyway, I just thought it was nice, and I like the fact that it was the black and the clear, so that again, it was very kind of neutral. Some more of these little tiny sort of knit pumpkins, and then this little witchy lady. I haven't decided if I'm keeping her or not. I paid 50 cents at a yard sale for her. I thought she was kind of cool how she was flying over the moon, and I really like the fact that she was barefoot for some reason. She's just a little kind of porcelain figurine, but I think that I may pass her along after this season. I'm not sure. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to keep her. Let me know down below if you think she should stick around. So I have this little guy that lives on my cooker as well. He's from Kirkland's originally. I paid $1 for him, and he is obviously a candle holder, but he has lots of different ghosts that go around the side with different facial expressions. I think he's adorable. I love to light candles in fall, don't we all? And so this is absolutely perfect to have just to kind of like spooky it up just a little bit. Okay, and last but not least, first of all, don't judge my table because it's a homeschooling table. So that's why there's like paint everywhere. But I have my table runner, which is actually from the same fabric as I made my quilt over there. It's just like a little matching table runner. Usually I would have a tablecloth on here, but we have been doing homeschool, so, you know, might as well just get it messy, who cares, right? And then I have this giant pumpkin candle I found for 50 cents at a yard sale a few years ago. It's absolutely massive. I don't burn it because I just really like it. So that always sits in the middle as a centerpiece. And then these again were just from a yard sale, lots of like little fall garlandy pieces that kind of sit around it. All right, you guys, if you enjoyed this video, then please do think about giving it a thumbs up. And if you want to come back and hang out some more, especially for thrifting and yard sale with me and things like that, where I find all of these cool things out there in the wild, then please do think about hitting the subscribe button and the bell notification, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye, you guys.